to be in, to like be one of the only people to collab with Queen. Do you get me?
Do you know what okay, before we get into that, I wanted to ask you, because I've been asking all my guests, what's your word of the year? If you've got a year that's going to draw you back to the intention that you're moving with this year, do you have a word?
Affirmation. For sure. No doubt.
Yeah.
You have to say it to yourself if you want it to be real. Do you know what I mean?
You got to speak it
and
into
you gotta
existence.
pray. Do you know what I mean? Some people manifest through prayer. Some people manifest through speaking to themselves in the mirror. Other people do it in their head. Other people need people around them to like create that community and that energy. Do you get me? And sometimes to even participate to make that thing happen. But yeah, affirmation, talking words of positivity to yourself about what you want for yourself is very, very important, I think.
And it kind of ties in what I've been talking about as well on the show about self-promotion as well, because I feel like maybe it's also a cultural thing in Britain where we kind of belittle our successes or we don't talk about it enough, where it feels a bit like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I make music or whatever. What's your take on that with promoting yourself?
All right, so it depends on what you got in the locker, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Like I know we've got some ridiculous records, even respectively aside from this Queen one in the locker. Do you get me? And I've got a new album coming out. So when people and it depends on who you're talking to as well, like because some people you can look in their eye and just know they'll never get it. Do you know what I mean? Regardless, they've got a jaded view of what they think the industry, and everybody thinks they're the expert at music now. Do you know what I mean? Because that every man can become the star. Do you know what I mean? Which makes sense, and I love that because it creates more opportunity for more creation and more ideas, and more sharing of music as well. But at the same time, you just never know who knows what. Do you know what I mean? So you can't sit there and tell them everything. So, and I think British culture can be quite prude and like kind of quiet in itself when it talks about like self-promotion or affirmation. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why my word is affirmation, no doubt. And two, there's always a classy, tasteful way to do things. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. There's a way that you can do it that actually 100%, doesn't put people off, 100%.
And not classy to like fit a box, but whatever that means to you, innit? Like your tasteful thing for you. If you're excited, be excited. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, don't let somebody else's lack of excitement about the thing you know in your heart is great be a downer to you. Do you get me? Or I got to posture up because it's not actually that exciting, bro. I got a song with Queen. Like, no, very few people are ever gonna have that in their life. Do you know what I'm saying? And I want to be able to, like, when my kids come back round, you get, like, not come back round, but when I eventually have kids, God willing, you get me, and they say, what's the story of your music career in your 30s circa 2022? I say I dropped a song with Queen in that year. Do you know what I mean? So I can't really be pressed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's talk about it, please, because wow. With Queen, like Queen. I mean, when I read the email, I was like, wait, Queen, like Queen, big Queen.
Yeah.
Amazing. How do you feel that, like, that's something that you've done that nobody else has done?
It's a bit surreal, I'll be honest. And I think it's surreal because Queen was before my time, innit? So, like, but I know their legacy. I know what they've done. I know who Freddie was to the people. I know his journey. Do you get me? Like, I've read up. I've done my research to some extent. And then obviously I've met Roger and spent some time in the studio with Roger Taylor as well. So firstly, let me just say a massive thank you and graces to Roger and the Queen team. I will always thank you for the rest of my life, because you've done something for me that's made it look more possible for other people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't have told you 2015 when nobody knew who I was, that in 2023, I would have had a song with Queen. Do you know what I mean? And I would have Roger Taylor's. By the way, just to clarify this, and this is kind of a fun fact that I'm gonna keep clarifying because I just think it's so dope. Yeah, is that the thing that everyone is calling a sample is not actually a sample. It's the live studio vocal of Freddie Mercury's take from the studio that it was recorded in.
Really?
And Roger Taylor delivered it specifically to us after handpicking us to write the track. Do you get me? Obviously, it's always going to get spoken about like a sample because Radio Gaga is such a massive tune. But it's actually Freddie Mercury's live studio vocal. That is his live voice on my song. It's not a take from another song.
That is mad. Wow. Because also, like you said as well, you're also going to open up people's minds in a way now. In terms of, like, when you're collaborating, like, think big.
Yeah, 100%.
Why
100%.
not? Where did this idea, like, where did it come from?
We did a collaboration with Adidas MTV and Abbey Road, where Roger and their team handpicked 3 artists to reinterpolate Radio Gaga, and we recorded the song. Originally they wanted like just kind of like a demo, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna finish the tune, especially when I realized it was about my grandma, so I delivered the song. And then we filmed some of the recording at Abbey Road. And in the process of doing that, everyone was kind of saying to me like they were really excited about my take, because it was like a super left field thing to have done for that kind of track. And I was in the studio with the guys like Manon Hutch, who plays with Rudimental, and Josh Hawkins, who's like a crazy virtuoso on the guitar, who are the people that I collaborated with and produced my radio with. And I was in the studio with them, and I was like, yo, as much as this is a massive record and it deserves all the praises and provenance, like I don't want to be scared of the record. Do you get me? I wanna take this apart. And we didn't even end up using the hook. Do you know that like original hook from the original track? You get me? We used a completely different part that resonated with and fell into context with what I was talking about, which is like my grandma's frequency, and how when she was here, she made it easier for me. Do you know what I mean? So then we took that into the studio with Roger and the Abbey Road guys, and big up them as well. They were super like accommodating, and everyone was really lovely. It coming like my grandma was hand holding that situation for us. You know what I'm saying? It was beautiful, like proper beautiful day. And I met Roger, and he said, I love the track and I would love to press play on it. Do you know what I mean? And it's great to meet you. And we had some off camera conversation and whatever, and it was just really nice. And he had a clear and humble respect for me as an artist. Like it wasn't like, yeah, I'm this guy and you're that guy and I'm doing you a favor. It was very much like, I respect everything you've decided to do on this song, and I respect you as an artist, and I can see your passion, I can see your creativity. And obviously Queen were an unorthodox band. Do you know what I mean? They tried things, they dared to do things differently. And I've always been doing that, even since before this collaboration, respectfully, you get me? So it's like everything that's led up to this moment for me is like validated by the fact that I now have a song that precedes my name. You get what I'm saying? It will always precede my name in some capacity, regardless of what numbers a song does. Like, you've collaborated with one of the most iconic bands to ever exist in modern day. Do you get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I can't like affirmations. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly.
Affirmations, like it's crazy. So yeah, then Roger personally invited us, me and my team, to come and see Queen play live. But obviously I was recording this album that comes out end of March, early April. So he invited us to come and see Queen play live because they did a tour in June of last year. And then we couldn't go because I was recording stuff and I was super busy, respectfully. And then my manager was just like, I'm gonna try and get the song cleared for the album. And Roger and his team loved the track so much that they handheld us through it. Do you know what I mean? He wrote 100% of that track, so it was him that we had to answer to when it came to the rights, and he just made it easy for us.
What a dream experience.
Yeah, I can't like
sailing.
The process of like being in the studio and getting the email and saying, yo, like, we're chatting to Queen's management and Rogers and Roger and his management and Freddie's estate about clearing us, and the label, and everyone's just saying yes. Like, everyone's just saying yes. And like, then there's the conversations of like, how much is it gonna, you get me? And it's like, no, we're gonna do, we want this song out. You know what I mean? Like, it was very, very evident they wanted the song out as much as we did. And I say that with the utmost humility. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that in itself is like a fall to your knees kind of moment. Not in front of any man, but to God. Do you get me? Like, yo, you are really writing this one for me, and it's not a commonplace one. Do you get me?
Yes.
It's not a commonplace one. I'm still very much digesting it myself, and we've done nearly 1 million streams in this first week.
Yes, of course. It's incredible. And if you just tuned in right now, I'm here joined with Che Lingo, an incredible artist who's teamed up with one of the biggest bands ever, Queen, and we're talking all about that. Do you know what I love? What you said as well is that you weren't afraid of it. So you really showed up. And I think that's
you
why.
Picked me in it.
Do you know what I mean?
Do me. Do you know what I mean?
And then to imagine if now you recorded something that deep down you're like, oh, that's not really what I would have wanted to do.
No.
That probably would have just eaten away at you. So again,
yeah, that would have been a weird one.
Yeah,
a very weird one. And I don't think we would have been here though. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think it would have got to where it needed to get to, because that wouldn't have been written. And any like real deeply passionate artist will tell you to trust your gut. Like I met Russ Damon the other day, as in the American Russ. And like I was like, yo, I'm a big fan and whatever. And he was like, yeah, bro, like love, rah, rah, rah. And I was like, have you got any words for me? He was like, just trust your gut. And and we were already doing that. Do you know what I mean? Like my manager just said, I'm just going to try. Do you get me? Because it's going to work. It's going to work really well if we get this. And what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to say no. Do you get me? And when I'm obviously I'm signed with Idris's label now. But prior to that, when I was indie and any production stuff, because I also do creative direction of my videos. So whenever we collaborate with the label to get a production off the ground, it's done through my company Trip, and Trip stands for the risk is proof. So there's that's what I mean. Like it's all so connected, because you just took a risk and you decided that you were gonna try a thing. Do you know what I mean? Like just try a thing. Like if I had any words for anyone ever, just try a thing, bro.
Try a thing.
Do you know what I mean? Just
Definitely.
try a thing, man. What's the worst that's gonna happen? It's not gonna work. Then just try another thing. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Because let's talk about the visuals as well, which you directed along with Justin Hackney.
Yeah, creatively directed. Justin Hackney directed along with Greg Pidcock.
Amazing. Like I was watching it and I was like, I was welling up, because it's just beautiful. Firstly, what we can do with technology nowadays as well.
Crazy.
Just
it's crazy.
Just quickly talk us through why taking that direction with the video.
Well, my birthday was January the 8th.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. And I'd had a meeting with my business partner on events and events producer on events, Jace, and we went to go and meet Greg, because he's also the musical and managing director of Sketch in Mayfair.
Oh, cool.
So we wanted to throw a party there, because I'd already thrown a party at another venue, like high-end venue in the city, and it was a smash. You get me? So like we want to do more stuff like that, and just bring the community, make it one stage. Just send me your name, or do you get me? If you know me, shout me, and we're throwing a party, and that's that. Just dress well. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever. And I wanna keep doing stuff like that to keep engaging my community. Like, forget relevance. I just want to have good times with my friends. You get me? Whilst I'm here, and I don't want to have to be bogged down by looking at my phone all the time. So yeah. Anyway, we had a meeting with Greg, and he was showing us the stuff he does with Real Dreams, which is the AI technology that they use to create certain people's visuals and to bolster visuals. And I was like, and it just looked like a moving portrait. Do you get me? It just looked like a portrait. So I was like, wow, my grandma's not here anymore. I'm in the middle of like putting together this treatment for this video, or these ideas down for this video, and I can definitely tell you right now that this is how I want it to be depicted. And he was like, yeah, we can do more. We can add 16mm film to it and rah rah. So anyway, fast forward maybe a month and a bit, we had the video done, and it's the first ever 16mm to AI video to exist.
You just smashing all these like first evers.
Yeah, man. It's like it's a unique path we're on. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And obviously the pioneer doesn't always get the credit, so it's not easy to kind of like shout like I'm the first, because no one ever believes you, because the world is so big. Do you get me? But there is no other 16mm real film, like 170-pound a roll, 200-pound a roll film, like that they used to film actual, you get me, old school videos on to AI. That doesn't exist yet until this video, you get me? And obviously it's a Queen track, and it's about my grandma, and it just ticks all my boxes. You get what I'm saying? It's a cool video. It's a sentimental video. It's a deep video. Real Dreams did an amazing job on it. The coding was extensive and hard. I know it was for them. Do you get me? But they pulled it out, man. They pulled it out, and we had some.
I implore everyone to go and watch the video as well, because it's incredible. Really quickly, let's talk about your tour, UK and European tour. Yeah. April. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good still. We got some really, really good music coming. We got another single coming in a little bit. Like, this one's doing amazingly. We start in Amsterdam on the 12th of April. And then we run all the way until May, and the London date is the 23rd.
At the Lafayette.
At Lafayette,
Beautiful
exactly.
venue.
So
I
yeah,
love
please
it.
go and get your tickets to Lafayette if you're listening, and you got friends or family or cousins or aficionados in music or whatever. Do you get me? Like confidants in other countries. Tell them we're touring. You get me? Tell them we're touring Europe.
Tell us a little bit about the album as well, really quickly.
Yeah, the album is essentially about a sequence of things that happened to me, and how I processed those things over the course of like COVID till now, basically, or late 2019 till now. It's in those times, in those couple of years, I lost my grandma. Obviously, I sustained a really bad injury that almost stopped me from putting out my first album. I lost some friends, both socially and physically, and I exited a really pivotal relationship in my life at that time as well. And big up her, that's still my G. But obviously, all of that stuff culminated into one. As a man, like I was just like, yo, this is a lot. But obviously, not everyone has music. So when I started writing some of the songs for the album, I was like, this is a good place to write from. You get me? And this sounds like this feels like what I should be talking about on my next album, because not everyone has music as an outlet, or not everyone's found what they love to be able to kind of balance those things, which is obviously more prominent in a lot of our communities. You get me? So I just felt like it was important to take that path and be the one. Do you know what I mean? To kind of say, yo, I've got this going on in my life and I'm depressed, and somehow I developed an eating disorder that I'm still dealing with. And do you get me? And I've lost a family member that I don't know how to kind of get over, and whatever the case may be. Do you get me? I've bumped into my dad again after 12 years, and you get me? Like things like that. Like I seen my dad at my grandma's funeral for the first time after 12 years. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So yeah, it was heavy, man. It was heavy, and all of that stuff is like somehow embedded in the album, whether directly or cryptically. So yeah, I just wanted to make something fun but serious at the same time, like something that I can listen to and go, rah, this is real music for me, like that other people can see themselves in. And that's what the album's about, basically. So yeah, the Coming Up for Air tour starts April 12th in Amsterdam. Please get your tickets.
Get your tickets. Right, we're going to play the epic track,
yes,
My
please.
Radio. But before that, tell us where we go to just follow your journey. What's the socials? Where do we go to get tickets for your tour?
Right, you can get tickets anywhere online. Just Google that, Che Lingo Coming Up for Air Tour, Che Lingo Kufa Tour, CUFA. You can find me on socials at CHE_LINGO. And yeah, if you see anyone or you know anyone that is looking for some good music to listen to, send them my way.
Definitely. Right, can you do the honours of introducing your track?
Of course. This is Che Lingo on BBC Radio London with Amelia Poamz. And this is My Radio, featuring Queen and Roger Taylor. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Grandma said I got the soul of an old man, so even when a signal dropped and